Ha guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors Pods TJD gain invaluable crunch time experience versus Kings. In the big picture, Wednesdays went over the Sacramento Kings. In the California Classic finale won't matter much to the Warriors other than the fact that it gave them a chance to hoist the inaugural Mitch Richmond Trophy, yet it was important enough that Golden State coach Anthony even had Summer League veterans Brandon Podziemski and Tracy Jackson Davis on the court in the final few minutes of the Warriors' 91-90 victory at Chase Center. For one thing, Vine needed the two to help stem the tide after the Kings trimmed a 16-point deficit in the fourth quarter to 88-84 with 2 minutes remaining. On the other hand, it gave Podziemski and Jackson Davis a chance to sharpen up on their skills for closing out games, something that Vine believes will be critical to the future of both players and the Warriors in general. For our team going forward, it's just invaluable for those two guys to get those end-of-the-game reps to see how it feels to try to impact winning, to try to make winning plays, said Vine, who complimented both players for their improved conditioning. It's kind of tough to go away, come back to a team, integrate yourself in it, but I thought they did pretty well with that. At the end of the day, we got the win and they got to get some valuable reps at the end of the game. It was the first time that Podziemski and Jackson Davis played in the California Classic this season. Prior to arriving for Wednesday's game at their waterfront arena, the two men had been playing for the USA select team in Las Vegas, helping prepare the USA men's basketball team for the upcoming Olympic Games in Paris. For Podziemski, the effort he played within a game that had few ramifications isn't surprising, since joining the Warriors as the number 19 overall pick in the 2023 NBA draft. The kid has been a non-stop ball of fury every time he steps on their court. I love playing in these games, Podziemski said after dropping 15 points and 4 assists on the Kings. A lot of guys are trying to get contract tracks, so they bring their best. That's all you can ask for from a competitive standpoint. It was good to go against those guys. Being out there when the game matters most is what you want. You don't really care about coming off the bench or starting or whatever. Being out there, being a leader, being trusted with the ball in your hands when it's that late in the game is something I want. Podziemski definitely did all of that and then some against the Kings, continuing a trend that began during his rookie season. That's some of the things we told him he'll be judged on. Fine said, how can you inspire and motivate others to play with you? We know you're going to play hard, we know you're going to try to play the right way, but how can you engage and make others want to take that ride with you? Jackson Davis, who tallied 11 points and 6 boards, also is trying to become a more vocal leader, particularly on the defensive end. Just glad to be back out here, said Jackson Davis, who missed most of the summer league last season while injured. We have a great group, we have a lot of firepower on offense. When we move the ball, it's hard to stop. That's what we saw in the first half. In the second half we kind of got stagnant a little bit and let them back in, but locked in at the end and got the win. Golden State Warriors Stephen Curry reveals the one player he's most excited to team up with in Team USA. The members of Team USA were asked to reveal the one player they're most looking forward to playing with in the upcoming Olympic tournament. For his part, Curry made his feelings about linking up with LeBron abundantly clear. I mean Braun for sure, Curry said. I've played against him for however many years. The Warriors reportedly attempted to trade for LeBron this past season, which would have given birth to arguably the greatest NBA duo ever. That obviously never came to fruition, but at least both superstars can now live their dream of playing with each other on the national team. Steph, LeBron and the rest of the squad kicked off their Olympic campaign with an exhibition win against Canada on Wednesday. As expected, one of the best highlight plays of the evening was produced by Steph and James' on-court partnership. There's going to be a whole lot more where that came from for sure. War Reporter updates where things stand with Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen of the Utah Jazz would be a welcome addition to the Golden State Warriors. However, discussions between the two teams have hit a stalemate. According to The Athletic's Anthony Slater, not much has changed for the Golden State Warriors in the past several days of AC quieting free agency period. Slater wrote in a July 9th story they remain in pursuit of Utah Jazz forward Lauri Markkanen, and league sources confirm but have entered the waiting period of what could be a drawn-out process. Slater added that the Sacramento Kings had been in discussions for Markkanen before pivoting toward acquiring Dearder. And due to a time crunch he then compared the Kings' situation then to the Warriors. Now their Warriors are not operating with that type of urgency. They're willing to wait for an answer on Markkanen, believing a level of clarity will arrive on August 6th at the latest. Considering the contractual dynamics in that case, the Warriors would have time to ponder what they would offer for Markkanen if Utah relents before then. Slater added that with Markkanen's contract set to expire in 2025, those around the league believe he and the Jazz will agree on an extension. Markkanen, as several have chronicled, becomes extension eligible on August 6th. He's on an expiring $18 million contract and due for a long-term raise. There are several within the league who have grown more convinced that the Jazz, after exploring Markkanen's trade market, plan to renegotiate and extend Markkanen using their saved-up cap space. The Athletic's John Hollinger wrote on July 9 that the entire league is waiting to see where Markkanen winds up, calling him the first most important domino, but asserting that the league views the Jazz as being on a fishing expedition. Slater described the Warrior predicament as it relates to an extension for Markkanen that would take Markkanen off the table for 6 months if the extension is signed on August 6th, bringing him back into the mix on February 6th, the exact date of next season's trade deadline. He wrote, if Markkanen waits to extend an extra day, August 7th or beyond, he'd be ineligible to be traded next season. An extra bit of leverage for Markkanen and an added layer of information to dictate Utah's ultimate decision on his future, if that's where the situation is headed. The Warriors are running low on options for adding a star. Markkanen is 27, has made an all-star team, and he's inexpensive. There aren't that many players who teams could trade for. Golden State had some major moves this offseason, headlined by Klay Thompson's departure. They've added Kyle Anderson, Buddy Hield and Anthony Melton. All three are useful role players who could help the Warriors make a playoff push. Golden State tried to get Paul George via trade, but the Los Angeles Clippers did not want to make a deal, hence they've turned to Markkanen. The Warriors evidently want to salvage what's left of their time with Stephen Curry and Draymond Green after missing the playoffs in 2024. It's clear that the two of them are not enough and need another star to have a chance at another title. And you fan, what do you think of the situation of Lauri Markkanen? Leave your opinion in the comments.